let me tell you about the most fascinating paradox in football, the cult hero. These aren't the megastars you see on billboards or the ones who break transfer records. No, these are the players who became legends not because of trophies, but because of the way they defied expectations, sparked debates, or left fans with unforgettable memories. Think about it, how many times have you seen a player with zero fame outside their club become the most talked about figure in the league? That's the magic of cult heroes. And today, we're diving into the wildest stories of the Premier League's most iconic underdogs. Take Gabor Kiraly, the goalkeeper who dared to wear tracksuit pants in a world of shorts. I mean, imagine the audacity. Here's a guy in the 2000s, when football was all about conformity, showing up in grey tracksuit bottoms. It wasn't just fashion, it was rebellion. And yet, he didn't get suspended, fined, or mocked. He just played. What does that say about the culture of football back then? It suggests that even in the most rigid systems, individuality can slip through. But here's the kicker, Kiraly's career was short, but his impact was eternal. Fans remember him not for his stats, but for that one weird choice. That's the cult hero's curse and blessing, they're defined by moments, not milestones. Now, let's talk about Park Ji-sung. The man who could have stopped Lionel Messi. Alex Ferguson admitted he made a mistake by not subbing him in that 2011 final. But here's what's wild, Ji-sung wasn't just a beast on the pitch, he was a nuclear-powered human. Literally. Andrea Pirlo called him the first nuclear-powered South Korean, which is the most absurd compliment I've ever heard. But think about this, in an era where stamina is king, Ji-sung was a machine. He ran more than anyone, and yet, he was never the headline. Why? Because he wasn't flashy. He didn't score goals or win awards. He just kept running. That's the thing about cult heroes, they're often the unsung heroes of the game. They're the ones who make the team tick, even if no one ever notices. And then there's Michu, the one-season wonder who lit up Swansea like a supernova. I'll never forget that 2012-13 season. He scored 18 goals, helped Swansea win their first major trophy, and then, poof! Gone. Injuries derailed him. But what makes Michu's story so haunting is how perfectly he fit the cult hero mold. He was a mystery, a spark, and then a flash in the pan. It's like watching a comet, beautiful, brief, and impossible to replicate. What does that say about football? That brilliance is often fleeting, and the people who achieve it are often forgotten. But for fans, those moments live forever. That's the cult hero's legacy, they're the stories we cling to when the big names fade. Let's not forget the eccentrics. Thomas Graveson, the Everton midfielder who set off fireworks at training, shot paintballs at teammates, and drove around Merseyside in a Nissan Micra. He wasn't just a player, he was a performance artist. And yet, he's remembered not for his antics, but for his passion. That's the irony, the more bizarre the behavior, the more people remember the person. It's like football's version of a meme. You don't have to be good to be famous, you just have to be unforgettable. And what about Neil Ruddock, the hardest footballer of all time who once took a dump in Saddam Hussein's toilet? I mean, that's not just a cult hero, it's a full-blown legend. His nickname alone is enough to make you laugh, but it's also a reminder of how football can be a playground for the absurd. Ruddock wasn't just tough, he was a character. He embodied the chaos of the 90s, where players were as much about personality as skill. And yet, his legacy isn't just about the toilet incident, it's about the way he played. He was a warrior, and warriors always have a story. So, what does all this mean? Cult heroes aren't just relics of the past. They're a reminder that football is more than stats and trophies.